Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and we all know that it is fantastic to go to a pet store to see all the cute kittens and puppies, although that's not so much of a thing at pet stores nowadays. But anyhow, it's cute, except it's even cuter if you go to an alien pet shop, where you see these cute aliens that might be able to kill you, I don't know. But these are cute aliens, and this is a game that I thought with its unbearable cuteness would be an interesting one to play, especially with my kids who tend to like cute things, and I'm not opposed to them myself. So let's take a look at this game, a game in which you're rolling your workers. It's a worker placement game, but your workers are dice. Here's how it plays. At the beginning of the game, everyone's going to get their alien, and they're all double-sided, these aliens. So there's various aliens who are definitely based on aliens from pop culture. I kind of wish they'd just done their own thing. You also have a starting pet. So maybe I start with the Star Pony, or you can start with the Troubles, or maybe the Slimoid. Each alien has a special ability. You also are going to start with 2 dice. These are your workers who work for you. And other than that, you're going to set up a board with having some pets and a super pet and some traits, and the game begins. In each round, players are first going to have a buying phase. You can buy one of these aliens. So everyone has a currency, which they keep track of down here. You'll start with 3 at the beginning of the game. And when you buy an alien, you're going to stick it in one of these 8 areas or 6 areas that you have on your board. Another thing you can do is you can buy a habitat. There are 4 different habitats: Breeding Chamber Cloner, Critter City, and Mutator, and they do various things. Like this one here lowers an alien's care score by 2. So maybe I'll stick that here, and you just put that underneath an alien. Each alien can be in one habitat. You can also hire workers. You can buy more dice, and players can have a maximum of 5 dice over the course of the game. After everyone's done buying, then players are going to roll the dice that they have. If you want to, you can re-roll dice. You're going to pay a coin to do re-roll dice. So each coin lets you re-roll any or all of your dice. But hazard, which is this, will trigger the workers that you have or the pets that you have. So for example, you see there's a Star Pony here. This Star Pony causes rainbow poop basically to block one of the spots on my board that I'm going to have to put a worker on to clear that out before I can put another pet there. Players are going to place these workers with the numbers. They're going to be placing these on different spots. You can put them down here to mutate your creatures. You can put workers on your different pets to care for those pets. You can send a worker over here to get money. Whenever you add a mutation, there are different spots for mutations to be on them. So I might want to add speech, or I might want to add a tentacle. You can add different amounts of mutations to the different creatures, which are going to help them, especially, or it's going to help you, because there are rewards for having the most pets. The first person, for example, to get 2 of the pets who can talk will take this. And then if someone else gets more than that, they'll take it from you. But you can see that these are each worth 4 points at the end of the game. The main way to get money in this game is by caring for pets. There's a care number down here. That means that 0 or higher is going to work. If any worker there will get me the money for that pet, which is 1. Although you'll notice I put this on this one here, which needs a 2, I could still put a 1 on this one and work because I've lowered their care score by 2. And there are bigger pets that are also worth points at the end of the game that will require higher workers to be placed on them. After 5 rounds, you're going to count your score. You're going to look and see where this token has landed on. Each person started with a gold card. This I need to have heavy monsters, and different monsters have different traits on them. I didn't do too well on this. I only had 1 heavy monster. You'll score for these cards that you've gotten, the different awards you've done. Some pets, like this Gar here, is worth a point. One of the habitats adds points to a monster. So you add all that together, and whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. There is a nice little insert for the game. The dice are good quality. The cards are good quality. Even though I'm not a big fan of the fact that they seemingly had a hard time coming up with too many original ones, since most of these seem to be based on something else from sci-fi, I do like the artwork, and a lot of people are going to like it because of the level of cuteness. Hey, Commander Keen.
Man, I'm a little bummed out about this game. I unfortunately have to give this game a 5 out of 10 because there's a lot of cool concepts in this game that are honestly just kind of picked off from other games, and it never really fulfills what it's supposed to do. So in this game, you're collecting aliens. You all have a starting alien, you all have a special power. Your special power might be like the one you saw there, get habitats for free. So guess what? You take a habitat every turn. Whatever the power is, you just do that power. It doesn't necessarily feel like a power when it's just something to do. Like this says you can buy aliens from the discard pile. That's kind of cool, except that get a habitat for free return, that's better. Or this one here, buy aliens for 1 less money. Well, that's pretty cool, and that's better than the buying aliens from the discard pile. I feel like they're not particularly balanced, the special powers. But that's more of a minor thing. On your turn, you're going to have money, and you have to decide what to buy with that money. Are you going to buy another worker? You should. You're going to buy more aliens. If you can afford them, you should. And do you want to buy habitats? Well, you probably should. At the beginning of the game, you can't do all those things. You only have 3 money. But the thing is, if you buy another worker, then yes, you have the opportunity to place that worker every round and get money from it. So buying a worker at the beginning of the game on turn 1 almost seems mandatory, because not only do you have more places to put it, to get traits which get you to victory points, to get money, to just put them out there, but it helps diminish the randomness. And the randomness is where this game kind of falls apart. Alien Pet Shop is a fun little game in many ways, but honestly, if you roll better, you will win. There's only 5 rounds. Yes, you can pay to re-roll, but you are paying victory points. And I think so there's 2 problems with the game. One is it's just straight up randomness. If I roll well, big numbers, there's no disadvantage to that. I put those on the animals, I put them on money, I can put them anywhere I want. You roll a bunch of hazards, you have a slight disadvantage. That's just not fun. It's not fun to the person who rolls poorly. Yes, you can mitigate it by paying a point, but that just puts you farther behind, and your re-roll could also be bad. While if you roll well, that doesn't mean anything. It just means you did well. In many games like this, and this is where I feel like this game looked at things from other games, like, hey, the longest road in Catan. Let's put 5 of those in this game. Hey, place workers out. You can buy more workers. Let's put that in this game. But they forgot things like when you roll dice for workers, high numbers should be good in some spot, low numbers should be good in some spot. And then having that hazard, which I think is supposed to be, hey, the more dice you get, the more hazards, the more danger it is. But guess what? Those hazards hit you even when you have a few dice. So it doesn't feel like it's that much of a push to say, hey, you should buy more dice. The game's also over too quick. Near the end, it becomes a ridiculous exercise in counting points. Should I buy this alien for money if it doesn't give me that much money's worth of points? And so often in the final round, sometimes the 4th round, you buy nothing because it's better to not spend the money and keep the points. And that kind of goes against the spirit of the game because there's only 5 rounds. Buying things each round is interesting. So unfortunately, for all those reasons, even though it's really cute and you see all these different creatures, I can't really recommend Alien Pet Shop. It just doesn't, it feels like an unfinished game that's going to coast by a bit, because if you see this, you'll be like, oh, and then you'll play it and you'll go, oh. 2 very different reactions. Anyway, as Alien Pet Shop, I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time.